Welcome to game number 4, day number 1 of the CCAC Men's Baseball Tournament here at Dooley Health and Care Field in Joliet. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Aaron Shallon, and game 4 is the 1 versus 8 matchup. That's the Calumet College St. Joseph Crimson Wave taking on the St. Francis Fighting Saints. Calumet comes in to today's action 17-30-1, while the Saints come in 24-24, but 19-8 in the conference. So how the tournament is shaken out so far here today. In the first game, the number 5 seed Indiana South Bend defeated the number 4 seed Trinity Christian 5-1 in an upset. The 7th seed Roosevelt defeated number 2 St. Ambrose 12-5, and in the 1 p.m. game, the number 3 seed St. Xavier defeated Olivet Nazarene 3-2, coming back from a 2-0 deficit and walking that one off in the bottom of the 9th inning. This is the 8 versus 1 seed again. Calumet St. Joseph 17-30-1 against St. Francis 24-24, and let's take a look at the Calumet St. Joseph starting lineup here this evening, I guess. Night game here at Dooley Health and Care Field. We're starting about an hour later than expected. Leading off and playing left field will be Sean Moore. Batting second, playing third, Joseph Selby. Batting third, playing first base, Michael Macknick. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Andrew Davenport. Batting fifth and doing the catching, Ryan Kalinowski. Batting sixth, playing right field, Nicholas Anderson. Darius Little will hit seventh and play center field. Cody Wilkins bats eighth and plays shortstop. And Nino Barbosa will be the number 9 hitter playing second base. And they will face the right-hander, Sam Pileggi, for St. Francis. First pitch from Pileggi to Moore is in there for a strike, 0-1. Sam, 3-1 on the year. An ERA of 3.4. He's making his 12th start of the season, 48 hits in 53 innings. He has struck out 51 batters, walked 23. Opponents hitting just .231 against Pileggi, who has been much, much better as the season has gone on. He's up in the count here, 0-2. That 1-2 pitch downstairs to Moore, 1-2. Sam, over his last 4 outings, only 5 earned runs in his last 25 2/3 innings pitched. Struck out 22 and walked only 7. So he's gotten stronger as the year has gone on. 2-2 now. He's faced this Calumet St. Joseph team once, and that was a 4-0 loss. That was actually a game in which St. Francis was no hit. I'll give you some more of the information about that one later on. The 2-2 pitch downstairs, swung on and missed. Throwing it down to first base is the starting catcher today, Dan Gussel, and that's 1 up, 1 down on the swinging strikeout of Sean Moore. Joseph Selby now stepping in. Selby on the air, a .355 hitter, 22 for 62, playing in his 24th game of the season. 5 doubles, 6 runs knocked in, takes the first pitch over for a strike. 0-1. Defensively for the Fighting Saints, on the infield, third to first, Alex Martinez manning the hot corner. Brian Hidalgo at short. John McGuire over at second, and Nate Maliska down at first base in the outfield, left to right. An all-senior outfield, Jake Vera, Luke Ketchum, and the superstar out in right field, Eric Maffey. Behind the dish, Dan Gussel. Catching Sam Pileggi, who's up in the count, 0-2 on Selby. Selby lashes that one into the screen. First pitch was at 8:01 p.m., and it's a gorgeous night for baseball here in Joliet. Temperature 64 degrees, clear sky, not much wind to speak of. Pitch in the dirt, 1-2 now on Selby. Pileggi is ready. Kicks and fires. And I guess that missed inside. That was close. Count goes to 2-2 now on Joseph Selby. Both teams are hot coming into the CCAC tournament. Pitch in the dirt, 3-2. Calumet St. Joseph 3-1-1 in their last 5, although they had lost 6 in a row prior to that. 3-1-1, 5-game stretch. And on the other side, St. Francis has won 6 in a row and 14 of their last 15 games. 3-2 pitch. Check down to first, and Joseph Selby will draw a one-out walk here in the first inning. Saints have won 14 of their last 15 games, 6 in a row. Although when these two teams played earlier in the season, the Crimson Wave took 2 out of 3 from the Saints. That first game was a 4-0 no-hit job. Andrew Davenport went the distance, striking out 9 the first pitch. The wild pitch gets past Goosel, and scooting down to second is Selby. So the Crimson Wave with a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Davenport went the distance, only needed 62 pitches to get through 7 innings. He struck out 9. Game was back on March 24th, a 4-0 Calumet St. Joseph victory. 1-0 pitch. Away, 2-0. That second game was a 3-2 St. Francis victory. Mac Milcheski, 6 innings of 1-run ball there. RBIs from Maffey, Ketchum, and Carrillo would give St. Francis the win in Game 2. And then the rubber match was a 4-3 extra inning victory for Calumet St. Joseph. They pounded out 15 hits, taking 2 out of 3. It was supposed to be a 5-game series, but the 2 middle games were rained out, snowed out, colded out, whatever you want to call it. The weather was bad in March. So these two teams only played 3 times during the regular season. Again, this is the 1 versus 8. St. Francis with that 14-1 stretch at the end of the season vaulted them to a 19-8 record in the CCAC as they passed up 4 other teams over the last couple of weeks to take that conference. Ooh, that was called a ball. Okay. Upstairs to Macknick. So 2 walks and a strikeout here in the first inning for Sam Pileggi, and that'll bring up Andrew Davenport. The aforementioned Davenport pitched a no-hitter against the Saints earlier this season. Comes in hitting .278. 4 home runs, 22 knocked in. Crimson Wave threaten here. 2 on, 1 out, top of the first inning. First pitch to Davenport, pumped in from Pileggi as a strike. Line drive that will land in front of the center fielder, Luke Ketchum. Rounding third is Selby. He'll be waved in. The throw airmails the cutoff man, but the runners don't advance. Davenport picks up an RBI single. Selby comes in to score, and the number 8 seed jump out in front here, the number 1 seed in the top of the first inning. It's 1-0. Good piece of hitting by Davenport. Just takes it right back up the middle. Lined it in front of Luke Ketchum out there in center field. Going to bring up now the catcher, Ryan Kalinowski. Kalinowski 7 for 34 on the season as he takes a big hack there, comes up empty. 7 for 34 on the season, but 4 of his 7 hits have gone for extra bases. 3 doubles, a home run, and 8 RBIs. The senior out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, gets the start behind the plate here for the first game of the tournament. Another big swing. 0-2. Sam up to 18 pitches already here in the first inning. The 0-2. Called strike 3 at the knees. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Kalinowski is down looking. That's 2 away here in the first inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Nicholas Anderson, with 2 on and 2 outs here in the first. And if you're Calumet St. Joe, you want to jump on Pileggi. Sam, as I mentioned, has gotten stronger as the season has gone on, and not only has he gotten stronger as the season has gone on, he's gotten better the later into games he goes. So you want to get on these pitchers early when you can. Otherwise, you may not have many opportunities. Nicholas Anderson is the Crimson Wave's leading hitter, 305 on the year, 1 home run, 33 runs knocked in. Pitch upstairs, 2-0. If Anderson reaches, the center fielder Darius Little would hit next. Not a lot of power on this Calumet St. Joe team, only 18 home runs as a team. Anderson, as I mentioned, with one of those. Hard ground ball in the hole into left field. Hitting third is Macknick. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off there. Throw into second behind the runner at second, and Davenport is out at second base. But Anderson drives in a run. We're through half an inning here at Dooley Health and Care Field. Crimson Wave 2. St. Francis coming up. Bottom of inning 1. Let's take a look at the Calumet St. Joseph starting pitcher here today. It is the junior, William LePetri Jr., a 5'10 junior out of De La Salle High School in Chicago. 3-3 on the year, making his 11th appearance, his 9th start. 58 and a third innings, 57 hits. Pitches to contact, only 26 strikeouts, but does not walk many batters at all. Only 10 walks in nearly 60 innings of work. An ERA of just over 2.6. He has been their best pitcher this season. One of 2 pitchers on the team with a sub-5 ERA. So William LePetri Jr. gets the start against the top seed St. Francis Fighting Saints. And let's take a look at that St. Francis starting lineup here this evening. Batting leadoff will be the third baseman, Alex Martinez. Batting second out in right field, Eric Maffey. Batting third, playing first, the freshman, Nate Maliska. In the number 4 hole, the center fielder, Luke Ketchum. Batting fifth, Brian Hidalgo, playing shortstop. Batting sixth, John McGuire at second base. Gio Pappas is your designated hitter, batting seventh. Dan Gusel will hit eighth and do the catching. And Jake Vera out in left field, batting ninth. This is a very good St. Francis offense. 294 as a team, led by the man you'll see stepping into the plate, and he'll start in the on-deck circle, will be Eric Maffey. Eric, 19 home runs on the season, second all-time in single-season St. Francis history. He has an outside shot at the school's single-season home run record in a season, which is 22. So he needs to have a big conference tournament here to get there, but he has been red hot as of late. Petrie will finish making his warm-up tosses here. There's the last one. So Calumet St. Joseph picks up a couple of runs in that first inning off of Sam Pileggi. And we go to the bottom of the first inning, and top seed finds themselves in a 2-0 hole before they take their first swings here in the 2023 CCAC baseball tournament. Alex Martinez will lead it off for the Saints. He comes in at 279 on the year. A couple of home runs, 21 runs knocked in. The junior Alex Martinez. First pitch, lined out to right field. Over for it goes Anderson, and he makes the shoulder-high catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the first. That will bring up Eric Maffey. Eric on the season, 396, 19 home runs. Eric out homering Calumet St. Joseph by himself. 19 home runs for Eric, 59 runs knocked in. Just one of the best individual seasons in St. Francis baseball history, hitting nearly 400 with 19 home runs. First pitch swinging, fouls it straight back. He's, as I mentioned, second all-time in single-season home runs with 19. Record is 22, set by Jim Kelly 41 years ago. He's also top 10 in doubles in a season. He's got 23 doubles. Swings at the 0-1 pitch and lofts a lazy fly ball to center. In on it comes Darius Little. So 2 batters, 2 fly ball outs here in the first inning. That'll bring up now the first baseman, Nate Maliska. Nate's been entrenched in that 3-hole now for a while here for St. Francis, hitting .314 here in his freshman season. Still looking for his first collegiate home run. 14 runs knocked in and pretty solid with the bat. Only 6 strikeouts in 118 innings for the freshman, Nate Maliska. He swings at the first pitch, grounds it up the middle into left center field for a base hit. So first hit here of the tournament for St. Francis is a 2-out single by Nate Maliska, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Luke Ketchum. As the Saints try to get on the board here in the bottom of the first, they're down 2-0 to the number 8 seed, Calumet St. Joseph Crimson Wave. Ketchum, a .333 hitter this year, 5 home runs, 25 runs knocked in. Petrie looks over at Maliska. First pitch to Ketchum is away for a ball. Nate doesn't run much. 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts. The 1-0 to Ketchum. In there for a strike, 1-1. Four more games tomorrow. 2 of them are at Trinity Christian. 2 of them are right here at Dooley Health and Care Field. The 1-1 pitch to Ketchum. In there for a strike. So the 10 a.m. game tomorrow at Trinity Christian will be Olivet Nazarene against St. Ambrose in the losers bracket, and then the 1 p.m. game will be Trinity Christian against the loser of this game. The 1-2 to Ketchum. Luke hammers it foul, stays 1-2. On the winner's side of the bracket, 10 a.m. right here at Dooley Health and Care Field will be St. Xavier taking on Roosevelt, the number 7 seed, as they dispatched St. Ambrose in the game that ended right before this one. And then the 1 p.m. game here at Dooley Health and Care Field will be Indiana South Bend against the winner of this game. Runner at first is Nate Maliska, 2 away here in the first inning. Crimson Wave with a 2-0 lead. 1-2 from Petrie to Ketchum is away for a ball, 2-2. Petrie doesn't, as I mentioned, doesn't strike a lot of batters out, only 26 strikeouts on the season. And he hits Ketchum either in the shoulder or in the side of the head, but either way, Luke appears to be no worse for wear, and he'll go down to first base. And St. Francis threatens here with 2 outs in the first inning. And let's quickly take a look at that Calumet St. Joseph defense. On the infield, third to first, Joseph Selby. Mans the hot corner, Cody Wilkins at short, Nino Barbosa at second, and Michael Macknick over at first. In the outfield, left to right, Sean Moore in left, Darius Little, and Nicholas Anderson. Ryan Kalinowski does the catching, and William LePetrie Jr. is the starting pitcher. Stepping in here now is the shortstop, Brian Hidalgo. Sophomore having a really, really nice season. Batting mostly either out of the number 3 hole or out of the number 6 hole here this season for St. Francis. 4 home runs, 35 runs knocked in. That's second on the team to go along with a .314 batting average. He's got an RBI opportunity here with Maliska at second, Ketchum at first, 2 away in the first inning. The count is even at 1-1. Bounces on that front foot, comes home with it, and it's fouled straight back by Hidalgo, 1-2. If Brian reaches, John McGuire gets a chance to hit here in the top of the bottom of the first. Infield straight up, outfield a step or so towards left field. The center fielder just a step or so to the left of that second base bag. 1-2, Hidalgo lashes it down the right field line, out of play. Game 3 today, which was the game that was on right before us, started about 25 minutes late, and that game ran long. A lot of pitches and a lot of runs in that game. 12-5, Roosevelt win, and Hidalgo swings through the high pitch, first strikeout of the game, and that retires the side. St. Francis strands a couple. We're through one. The number 7 seed, Calumet St. Joseph, leads 2-0. We're back for inning 2 here in the CCAC Men's Baseball Tournament from Dooley Health and Care Field in Joliet. It's the number 1 seed St. Francis Saints taking on the number 7 seed Calumet St. Joseph Crimson Wave. And the Crimson Wave plated a couple in that first inning, a couple of RBI singles from Davenport and Anderson. Could have been worse, but they ran into the last out of the inning on that single by Anderson, and they'll send up 7-8-9 here against Sam Pileggi in the second inning. This is Darius Little, Cody Wilkins, and Nino Barbosa. Darius Little, 297 on the year, 1 home run, 26 knocked in. He's up in the count here, 2-0. 297 hitter with a almost .430 on-base percentage. Has drawn 30 walks in his 47 games, and he's up in the count 3-0. Pileggi having some trouble finding the strike zone here in the early going. Couple walks, couple strikeouts in that first inning, a couple of hits as well. He's down 3-0 to Little. There's a strike. Little lifts the arms, taking all the way, 3-1. Pileggi kicks and deals. It's in there again for a strike. 3-2 now. Here comes the payoff pitch. And that's the third walk here through an inning plus for Sam Pileggi. And Little, a very dangerous base runner. A perfect 11 for 11 this season in stolen base attempts. Draws a leadoff walk in the second. They'll bring up the shortstop, Cody Wilkins. Comes in at a .182 with 5 knocked in this season. Alex Martinez, the third baseman, in on the grass. Expecting a bunt. Squares to bunt, drops it back, pulls it back. Gusso fakes the throw down to first. That's a ball, 1-0. Pileggi struck out the first batter of the game. Sean Moore proceeded to walk the next 2 batters, give up a single, then a strikeout, and then a single. And he walked the leadoff man, Little, here in the second. The 1-0 pitch to Wilkins. He squares to bunt, pulls it back, but this time it's called a strike. 1-1 now. Watch Alex Martinez crash in from third base on the pitch. Pitch is upstairs, 2-1, and you can see Wilkins angling that bat towards the right side of the diamond, trying to force the pitcher Sam Pileggi to play that ball, or the catcher to play that ball, rather than the third baseman. 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. Only 23 walks and 53 innings of work for Pileggi, so doesn't typically have a lot of issues with his control. That's 4 bases on balls here now through an inning plus for Sam Pileggi. And Calumet St. Joe's threatens again here in the second inning with the first 2 batters reaching. We're going to mound visit early in this one. Nino Barbosa will step in to hit here with 2 on and nobody out in the second inning. Expect more of the same with Barbosa trying to lay down that bunt and sacrifice both of those runners into scoring position. The meeting on the mound is adjourned. Everybody goes back to their customary positions. Here now you've got the first baseman, Nate Maliska, already way in on the grass. The third baseman, Martinez, coming in as well. So I think that was as much about settling Pileggi down as it was about what do you do with the baseball if it gets bunted to you. First pitch pulled back as a ball, 1-0. Pileggi at 35 pitches here through an inning plus. Another ball, 2-0. This one's outside. There's already action down in the St. Francis pen. Right-handed action down there. Sam may not be long for this game. 2-0. Drops it down right to Pileggi. Sam has it, fires over to first, and retires Barbosa. Both runners advance. So Barbosa's able to do the job, get that high pitch down, and advance both runners into scoring position. So runner at second, runner at third, Little at third, Wilkins at second. Back up to the top of the order in Sean Moore. Came in hitting .336 on the year. A couple of home runs, 25 runs knocked in. Very good handling the bat as well. 30 walks against only 26 strikeouts. First pitch to him is away. Martinez even with the bag at first. Middle infield back conceding that run. Pitch is outside, 2-0. Pileggi fires. Fouled straight back, 2-1 on Sean Moore. Leadoff hitter playing left field. Two and one now. Lofted down the left field line, slicing foul over onto the, I believe that's called a berm down there, down the left field and right field lines here at Dooley Health and Care Field. The grassy area beyond the grandstands. 2-2 now on Sean Moore. He struck out swinging in the first. Pileggi would love nothing more than his third strikeout of the game right here. The 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Hidalgo back on it. Vera comes in on it. Jake calls it off. Makes the catch out in left field. Not deep enough for anybody to advance. And both runners stay right where they are here with 2 outs in the second. Joseph Selby, he walked and scored in the first inning. Be a huge boost to Pileggi's confidence here if he can wiggle out of this jam in the second without allowing a run. Give his offense a chance to get back out there. Darius Little at third, Cody Wilkins at second. This is Joseph Selby. First pitch to him is upstairs. Selby, another one with more walks than strikeouts this year. 15 walks and 10 strikeouts in 62 at-bats this season. That is a .506 on-base percentage for Selby in 62 plate appearances. Pitch is a ball, I guess. 2-0. Looked good from up here, but I am a little off to the side, so I don't have a straight-on shot, but maybe that was a bit inside. 2-0 now to Selby. Upstairs 3-0. Macknick waits in the on-deck circle. He's the power bat in this Calumet St. Joseph lineup. 4 home runs and 12 doubles waiting to hit. 3-0 to Selby. And he draws a 4-pitch walk. His second walk of the game, the 5th walk issued by Sam Pileggi here through an inning and 2/3. And he will face Macknick, who drew a walk as well in the first inning. He came in batting .248 with those 4 home runs and 30 runs knocked in. Pileggi trying to work out of a bases-loaded jam here in the second. His team already down 2-0. First pitch poured in for a strike. 0-1. Kicks and fires the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2 by Macknick. One pitch away from working out of this. Here comes the 0-2. Fisted foul. Stays 0-2. Second baseman John McGuire, a step on the outfield grass over there at second base. The 0-2 again from Pileggi to Macknick. Downstairs blocked nicely by Dan Gusel. That's why Dan's out there. He's got a very good glove behind home plate. Really good at blocking those balls in the dirt. And it was huge with a runner at third base. Darius Little at third, Cody Wilkins at second, Joseph Selby at first. All there via bases on balls. The 1-2 to Macknick. Just got a piece of it, fouled it back to stay alive, stays 1-2. If he reaches Davenport, gets a chance to hit. Saints have come into this game winners of 14 of their last 15 ball games. They're down here 2-0 in the second. The 1-2. Cut on and missed as Pileggi throws the high fastball by him, and Sam does indeed wiggle out of that bases-loaded jam. We're through an inning and a half here at the CCAC baseball tournament. Calumet St. Joe's leads St. Francis 2-0. We're back here in the bottom of the second inning. St. Francis trails 2-0. William LePetri Jr. out there for his second inning of work. He was the starting pitcher in the second game of that doubleheader back on the 24th, where Calumet St. Joseph no-hit St. Francis in the first game 4-0. LePetri was on the mound for game 2, and that was a 3-2 loss. Through no fault of him, first pitch swinging John McGuire lofts it to left. A few steps to his left, Sean Moore makes the catch. One pitch, one away here in the second inning. In that game on the 24th, he went 8, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. He did pick up the loss. He walked 3, he struck out 2. He was outdueled by Mac Milcheski in that one. Mac, 1 earned run in 6 innings of work. LePetri will now face Gio Pappas. Gio, the designated hitter this evening. And that pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Gio, 288 on the season. 4 home runs, 20 knocked in. 4 home runs in just 59 at-bats. So has some pop down there in the right-handed batter's box. He's down in the count here, 0-1. Fouls it straight back, 0-2. And 3 pitches. Gio swings and misses at the low and away pitch. That's strikeout number 2 here for LePetri. And 2 outs in the second inning. Dan Gusel now, starting catcher, steps in with 2 outs and nobody on. 253 for Dan on the season. 3 home runs, 5 runs knocked in. First pitch to Dan is on the outside corner, breaking pitch, 0-1. LePetri looks sharp here through an inning and 2/3. He's a lot of hit. He hit a batter, hasn't walked anybody, struck out a pair. The 0-1. Gusel ahead and on top of that off-speed pitch, 0-2. Topped at the plate, foul. Stays 0-2. If Gusel reaches Jake Vera, gets a chance to hit here in the second. St. Francis, the top seed, looking to advance to game number 8 tomorrow at 1 p.m. to take on Indiana South Bend. Up and away, 1-2. The 1-2 now. Swung on and missed, and for a pitcher who doesn't strike many batters out, that's 3 Ks through 2 innings for William LePetri Jr. We go to the third. Calumet St. Joe's leads St. Francis 2-0 here at the CCAC Men's Baseball Tournament. New pitcher on the mound here for St. Francis as we go to the third inning. It is the freshman righty, Jacob Jerka, 6'1", 205 pounds out of New Lenox, Illinois. He comes in to relieve Sam Pileggi, who struggled to the tune of 53 pitches through 2 innings. He walked 5 and struck out 3. Gave up a couple of runs, a couple of hits. Jacob Jerka now in here against 4-5-6. 0-2 now on Davenport, who singled and drove in a run in the first inning. Jerka on the season, 4-1, making his 16th appearance of the year, his 9th out of the bullpen, 44 2/3 innings. Davenport hits that ball to left. Vera is there and makes the catch. 1 away here in the third inning. Jerka 61 hits in those 44 2/3 innings. He's struck out 24, walked 17. Opponents are hitting, that's a 7.25 ERA for Jerka. And he has faced this Calumet St. Joseph team this season. First pitch to Kalinowski is a ball, 1-0 rather. He pitched in the 4-3 extra inning loss back on the 27th. He went 4 innings, allowed 9 hits and 2 earned runs. It was a 15-hit attack for Calumet St. Joseph's in that 4-3 win. This is Kalinowski, and the count is 2-1 on the Crimson Wave backstop. He struck out looking in the second inning. Swung on and missed. Kalinowski swings through the high fastball, 2-2. So Pileggi walked 2, gave up 2 singles in that first inning, walked the bases loaded in the second, and was able to wriggle away from that one. Gives way to Jacob Jerka here in the third. Count is full on Ryan Kalinowski. Swung on and missed. Kalinowski goes down swinging. Second strikeout for him this afternoon. First strikeout of the game for Jerka. 4th this evening for St. Francis pitching. Got to get out of the habit of saying this afternoon. This is my first St. Francis evening game of the season. And that'll bring up Nicholas Anderson. He singled to left in the first inning, which drove home Michael Macknick. And Davenport got a little too far off that second base bag on that throw. And the throw came in behind him. He was tagged out at second to end the first. The 1-0 pitch is downstairs to Anderson. 2-0. Anderson 3 for 13. Now 4 for 14 on the season against the Fighting Saints. In what is now their 4th game that these two teams have played against each other this year. 3-0 the count on Anderson. Get me over fastball. Got him over. First strike, 3-1. Darius Little in the on-deck circle. If Anderson's able to reach here with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the third. Jerka fooled him a little bit with that off-speed pitch. Anderson swung over the top of it. Count goes full. The payoff pitch from Jerka to Anderson. Ground ball hard at the second baseman, McGuire. John has it, flips to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning, something the Saints desperately needed here defensively. We are through 2.5. Calumet College of St. Joseph lead the St. Francis Saints 2-0 here on the CCAC baseball tournament. Bottom three here at Dooley Health and Care Field in Joliet. And the number 8 seed, Calumet St. Joseph, leads the number 1 seed, St. Francis, 2-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. The winner of this game will take on the 5th seed, Indiana South Bend, tomorrow right here at 1 p.m. Indiana South Bend defeated the 4th seed, Trinity Christian, earlier today, in the first game here in Joliet, 5-4. Leading off will be the number 9 hitter for St. Francis, Jake Vera. Jake at 302. A couple of home runs, 22 knocked in. And this is a very aggressive St. Francis offense. Very good offense. The one thing they don't do a lot of is take a lot of bases on balls. They are up there swinging. Vera swings at the 1-0 pitch. Hits it to left. Moore makes the catch. 1 away. 1 out here in the third. Back up to the top of the order in Alex Martinez. He flew out to right. First pitch swinging. Martinez, a junior from Lockport. 5'8", 186 pounds. Righty went to Moraine Valley Community College before settling in here at St. Francis. He's been in that leadoff spot now for the better part of the last month, as the St. Francis offense has really kicked it into high gear over the last 10 to 15 games of the regular season. 1-0 to Martinez. Smoked out to left center field. No one's going to catch that one. That'll split the outfielders. One hop the wall, and Martinez has himself a stand-up double here with 1 out in the third inning. So best swing of the evening so far for St. Francis. Here comes with 1 out in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up the very dangerous Eric Maffey. Maffey flew out to center in inning number 1. So St. Francis with a runner in scoring position now with 1 out. And Eric Maffey, who came in hitting nearly 400 this season with 59 runs knocked in, looking for home run number 20, RBI number 60, and a hit today. A hit in this at-bat will put him very close to that magical 400 number. It's 0 for 1 today, dropped that 396 average down a bit. See what he does here with Martinez on with 1 out. First pitch. Hit out to right. Slicing out of play. 0-1 on Maffey. His last at-bat, we talked about some of his single-season records. Second all-time in home runs. Right now he's third all-time single season in doubles. He has the third highest career batting average here at St. Francis, a .377 career hitter here at St. Francis. He's not going to catch the number 1 hitter, David Kuhn, a .414 career batting average here for St. Francis. But finishing third is not bad all time. He's down on the count here, 0-1, trying to pick up Martinez and get his team on the board in the third inning. The 0-1. Maffey crushes it deep to left field. Moore, all he can do, turn and watch it go. Home run number 20 for Eric Maffey, and just like that, we're tied at 2. Absolutely no question where that ball was going to land when it left the bat of Eric Maffey. That went over everything in left, and we are knotted at 2. Home run number 20 for Eric Maffey. RBIs number 60 and 61 for the senior. And we're all knotted at 2. Brand new ball game here in the third. Nate Maliska now singled to center his first time up. Maliska first pitch swinging, lines a base hit to center. So Nate, a couple of plate appearances, couple of singles here. And the St. Francis offense coming to life here a little bit in the third inning. Double home run single, and Luke Ketchum steps in now. Ketchum was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. Nate Maliska over at first. Game is all tied at 2. First pitch misses down to catch him. Luke grounds it down the third base line, foul. Joseph Selby snags it on the backhand, but in foul territory. 1-1 on Luke Ketchum. Luke, the grad student out of Springfield, Illinois, played for Delta State University before coming here to St. Francis. As a runner at first with one out, Nate Maliska waves at that one, 1-2. Luke 4 for 11 against the Crimson Wave this year. Counts even at 2. Maliska 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts down there at first base. 2-2 on Ketchum. LePetrie, long look, delivers, up and away, 3-2. Luke batting cleanup most of the season, a .333 hitter this year, but it really makes his hay, so to speak, out in the outfield. He's a tremendous center fielder for the Saints. 5 home runs on the year. Do a little bit of everything, Luke Ketchum. The 3-2 pitch misses away. First walk of the game issued here by LePetrie. That'll send Maliska down to second, and the Saints with 2 on and 1 out here in the third, and Brian Hidalgo stepping in. Brian had this same situation back in the first. Really the exact same setup. Maliska at second, Ketchum at first, and he struck out to end the first inning. So you know he's looking for a little redemption here, looking to pick up Nate from second base and give his team the lead. It's 2-2 in the third. First pitch to Hidalgo. He squares to bunt. It's away. 1-0. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Saints. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Calumet St. Joseph. We're in the third. Crimson Wave scored a pair in the first. Saints got him back here in the third with a 2-run home run to left by Eric Maffey. Foul tipped into the mitt, 1-1. Middle infield at double play depth. Joseph Selby playing almost on top of the line down at third base. Big hole between third and short if Brian can get around on it. Up and in, 2-1. Brian with 4 home runs on the season. Misses away again, 3-1. So LePetrie, only 10 walks and 26 strikeouts this season. In 58 and a third innings, he struck out 3 and walked 1 so far through 2 and a third. He's behind Hidalgo here, 3-1. The pitch, fouled back, 3-2. John McGuire stands in the on-deck circle, and if anybody reaches, Gio Pappas. Runner at second's Maliska. Luke Ketchum over at first. Payoff pitch to Hidalgo from LePetrie. Ground ball off the mound into center field for a base hit. Rounding third is Maliska. He comes in to score, and St. Francis puts up 3 here in the third, and they take a 3-2 lead for Hidalgo. That's RBI number 36 on the season as he brings home Maliska on the single up the middle that hopped off the mound into center field. And his team is up by a run now, and that'll bring up John McGuire, but not before a meeting on the mound. And John McGuire has had some success against Calumet St. Joseph this season. Before his fly out to left in the second, he was 6 for 10 this season against the Crimson Wave. He'll come up here with 2 on and 1 out in the third. 4 hits here in the inning for the Saints. John McGuire does a little bit of everything for this St. Francis team. He has a .331 batting average, a couple of home runs, 23 runs knocked in. He's also pitched in 15 games. He has a win. He has 4 saves. He has a sub-4 ERA in 45 innings of work. So the junior doing a little bit of everything. Here he's looking to do something and pick up a runner at second. That runner at second is Luke Ketchum. Luke with some good speed, 8 stolen bases in 9 attempts. John flew out to left back in the second inning. First pitch swinging for him as well. So the Petrie up to 43 pitches. This is pitch number 20 of the third inning. He was only at 24 pitches through 2. Now at 43 through 2 and a third. First pitch is over to John for a strike. Waves at that one, 0-2. Bit of a breeze blowing in now. It's blowing right into my announcer's booth here. I'm offset a little bit to the left behind home plate. The 0-2 to McGuire. Away. Kalinowski tried to pull that one back, but nothing doing. Called the ball, 1-2. Petrie delivers, and he strikes out McGuire as John whiffs at the off-speed pitch. That's the 4th strikeout of the evening for William LePetrie Jr., all swinging. You can do that against an aggressive offense like this St. Francis lineup. Get him out in front and get him off balance. St. Francis has done some damage here in the third, putting up a 3 spot. They now have a 3-2 lead, and this is Gio Pappas, struck out swinging. Swings and misses at the pitch up and in, 0-1. Gio, the senior out of Lockport, comes up with 2 on and 2 out here in the third. His team up by a run. Ground ball to the shortstop. Wilkins goes the short way to second to retire Hidalgo over there. But the damage, oh wait, they're going to say he's safe. Yeah, he's safe down at second. I'm going to say that the second baseman, Nino Barbosa, came off the bag. So the bases are loaded here. Got ahead of myself. Pappas reaches on the fielder's choice. This is head coach Brian Nowakowski out there talking to the umpires. So they're going to call that an E4 down at second base, allowing Hidalgo to reach. The bases are loaded here for Dan Gusel. Runner at third is Ketchum. Runner at second is Hidalgo. Runner at first is Gio Pappas. Gusel struck out swinging to end the second. Let's see if LePetrie can work around the defensive miscue in here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Dan is away. 1-0. Dan pops it up down the left field line. Hooking. Is that going to reach the berm? It is. Left fielder Sean Moore reaches out, but you need to be Mr. Fantastic to reach that one. For all you superhero fans out there, that one's for you. 1-1 now on Dan Gusel, the St. Francis catcher here this evening. Bases are full of Saints here in the bottom of the third. 3-2, St. Francis with the lead. 1-1. On the outside edge, 1-2. It's ninth man to bat here in the third inning. Jake Vera led off the inning, flying out to left. He stands in the on-deck circle, hoping to get another shot here in the third. The 1-2. Lace to the right, out of play, stays 1-2. Petrie, 49 pitches now. 25 here in the third. The 1-2 again to Gusel. And he strikes him out swinging. Fifth strikeout of the evening for LaPretrie, but now the damage is done. St. Francis scores 3. 3 runs on 4 hits. They strand them loaded. We're through 3. The Saints lead Calumet St. Joseph 3-2. Top of the fourth, and Calumet St. Joe's now finds themselves in a 3-2 hole here against Jacob Jerka, coming out here for his second full inning of relief of Sam Pileggi. He set the side down in order in the third, and now he's pitching with a lead. As the Saints gave him 3 in the bottom of the third, he'll face Little, Wilkins, and Barbosa here in the fourth. That's 7, 8, 9, and if anybody reaches Sean Moore. Darius Little takes the first pitch in for a strike. He walked and was stranded at third in the second inning. One of 5 walks issued by Sam Pileggi in 2 innings. Sam, so dependable here for the Saints this season, especially in the second half of the regular season. Just couldn't find his control here this evening. Walked 5 in 2 innings. Gave way to Jerka in the third. Hard ground ball to Martinez. Alex has it, bobbles it. Hard throw to first. It's wide of the bag, and Little will reach on the E5. Alex had fielded that cleanly. He would have had Little down there at first base, but he bobbled it and had to rush the throw on the 0-2 pitch. So first error of the game for St. Francis. Puts the leadoff man on here for the Crimson Wave in the fourth inning, and that'll bring up Cody Wilkins now. Wilkins also walked back in the second inning. Third baseman Martinez coming way in again. In a repeat of what we saw in the second inning, Darius Little led off the inning, reached base. Cody Wilkins tried to bunt, but he was actually ended up being walked. Drops this one down right back to Jerka. Jacob has it, flips to first as Little goes down to second on the 1-3 sacrifice. So 1 out now, runner at second, and the second baseman, Nino Barbosa, steps in. Barbosa dropped a sac bunt down in the second inning. That was an opportunity for the Crimson Wave to really jump on St. Francis here in the early going. They scored 2 runs in the first. They had 2 in scoring position with 1 out in the second, and they weren't able to plate a run. And then in the third inning, the Saints took the lead. So you get those opportunities if you're Calumet St. Joe. You got to take advantage of them, and they didn't in that second. See if they can do it here in the third. Little at second with 1 out. Barbosa at the plate. Pitch to Nino is fouled off. 1-1 on the starting second baseman here this evening. Barbosa, a .266 hitter on the year, 17 for 64. He's a freshman. No home runs, 4 runs knocked in. Freshman out of Whitting, Indiana. Breaking pitch on the inside corner, 1-2. Barbosa didn't like that one very much, but he'll dig back into the box now, down 1-2. Jacob Jerka, an inning and a third so far. With a strikeout, the 1-2. Fouled down the right field line, slicing out of play, stays 1-2. Calumet St. Joseph coming in 17-30-1 on the season. They finished 9.5 games behind St. Francis in the CCAC conference this season, but giving them some trouble here in this one. Ground ball to short, and that's Brian Hidalgo with the strong throw over to first to retire Barbosa, and Little will stay right where he is at second base now with 2 outs, and Sean Moore steps in. Moore's 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. Sophomore out of Thornwood High School. Infield really shifted to the right. The shortstop only a few steps behind the second base bag. Now he backs off. I think he's trying to keep that runner, Darius Little, with a lot of speed, as close to that second base bag as he can. Trying to keep Little from taking that big secondary lead. 1-0 now to Moore. On the outside corner, 1-1. Outfield straight up and fairly shallow for Moore. Ground ball to the right side. Couple of hops to John McGuire over to Maliska, and that will set the side down here in the top of the fourth. Calumet St. Joe strands a runner at second. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Saints lead 3-2 here at the CCAC baseball tournament. Bottom of the fourth inning here in Joliet. The number 1 seed University of St. Francis Saints taking on the number 7 seed Calumet College of St. Joseph Crimson Wave. And through 3.5, the Saints lead the Crimson Wave 3-2. St. Francis will send 9-1-2 against William LaPretrie. They got to LaPretrie in the third. 3 runs, 4 hits, including a what can only be described as a mammoth home run by Eric Maffey. And the Saints took the lead in that third inning. This is Jake Vera. Jake flew out to left, leading off last inning. Jake, one of a number of 300 hitters in this St. Francis lineup, batting ninth. The 1-0. Fouled back, 1-1. Big hole right up the middle. The middle infielders pushed towards first and third. Vera drops it down, and we're going to say it hit him, or was it foul? I'm going to say it was, I think they're going to say it hit him coming out of the box. So it'll be a strike, 1-2. Or it hit him while he was still in the box, I should say. 1-2 on Vera. Petrie kicks and fires. Jake swings and hits it to the right side. Second baseman Barbosa has it. Gets it over to the first baseman Macknick to retire Vera by a step. One out here in the fourth, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Alex Martinez. Alex got things started for St. Francis last inning with a one-out double to left center. It was his fourth double of the season, and he put a charge into that ball, gapping it between the left fielder, Sean Moore, and the center fielder, Darius Little. He came in to score ahead of the Eric Maffey home run in the third. First pitch now to Martinez. Alex, big swing, and it caught the catcher, Kalinowski, who's down on all fours behind home plate. Trainer and coaching staff coming out to check in on Ryan Kalinowski. Ryan, a senior. Looks like he's all right. One of the things I love about baseball, a player gets hurt like that, and you know he just needs a minute to walk it off, but the home plate umpire will, he'll go get a fresh batch of balls, or if it's, unlike here, if it's an actual dirt infield, you get a little dirt on the plate and then clean off the plate, or go talk to the pitcher, give that catcher an opportunity to compose himself, and it looks like he's ready to go. With Alex Martinez, the leadoff hitter, the third baseman, down in an 0-1 count. Maffey stands in the on-deck circle. In their first strike, 0-2 from LaPretrie. LaPretrie so far, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 5. Fouled off by Alex, 0-2. Calumet St. Joe's scored 2 runs in the top of the first. RBI singles from Davenport and Anderson. And then they loaded the bases with 2 outs in the second and couldn't get anything done. The 1-2 now to Martinez. Away, 2-2. LaPretrie is ready, kicks and fires. Martinez gets a piece of it, fouls it back, stays 1-2. The 1-2 again. Upstairs, 2-2. Battle here, Martinez away. Count goes full, so Martinez battling LaPretrie here was down in the count, 0-2. It's now 3-2 to the leadoff hitter. Alex fouled a couple of pitches off. Lay off a couple. Count is full. Here comes the payoff. Ground ball over to the second baseman, Barbosa. One hop. Throw over to first. And second straight 4-3 put out here in the fourth inning. And that'll bring up Eric Maffey. Eric 1 for 2. He flew out to center in the first and hit a moonshot his last time up. A 2-run homer to left. His 20th home run of the season. RBI number 60 and 61 of the year. Those 20 home runs I mentioned are second all-time in St. Francis history. He's only 2 away from tying the all-time record of Jim Kelly's 22, set back in 1982. He's been hot as of late. In the doubleheader against Olivet Nazarene in the final 2 games of the regular season, he hit 3 home runs and drove in 7. Picking up right where he left off. Hits this one to right. In on it comes the right fielder, Anderson, and he makes the diving catch out with his glove out to his left to retire the side. Hit the ground hard, hit it with a thud, but made the catch, so it was worth it. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Calumet St. Joseph. We're through 4. The Saints lead the Crimson Wave 3-2. Top of the 5th here at Dooley Health and Care Field. The Crimson Wave and the Fighting Saints battling in Game 4, Day 1 of the CCAC 2023 baseball tournament. It'll continue tomorrow with 2 games at Trinity Christian, 2 games here at Dooley Health and Care Field. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., will be Olivet Nazarene taking on St. Ambrose, the number 2 seed. First 2 pitches to Selby are balls. The 1 o'clock game will be Trinity Christian, the number 4 seed, against the loser of this game. And then tomorrow here in Joliet, as Selby hits it over to John McGuire at second. John over to first, and they retire Selby for the first time here on the 4-3 putout, 1 out in the 5th inning. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., the number 3 seed St. Xavier will take on the number 7 seed Roosevelt Lakers, as again, Roosevelt, the number 7 seed, upset St. Ambrose. And then Indiana South Bend, the number 5 seed, upset Trinity Christian 5-1 in the first game today. They will take on the winner of this game tomorrow at 1 p.m. I will have both of those games live for you here, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So tune in and watch or listen from work, or if you're off on a Friday, it's looking like it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball here tomorrow at Joliet. So come keep me company. Either come on down to Dooley Health and Care Field or watch the game live right here. This is Macknick. He grounds the 1-1 pitch foul. 1-2. Macknick 3 for 11 coming into this game on the year against St. Francis. Does have a home run against the Saints. It's a 248 hitter. He came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second and struck out. He hits this ball a long way out to right center field. That's high off the wall. I think Macknick thought it was gone initially, and that ball hit the right center field wall. It had me fooled, too. Looked like Luke Ketchum and the right fielder, Eric Maffey, were sort of watching that ball leave the park, but that hit off the top of the wall in right center field, and Macknick is into second with a double. And he's still looking out there in right center field saying, I thought that was a home run. But he had to turn the Jets on there at the very end to reach second base with the one-out double. Keeps looking out to right center field. I think maybe it hit that. And again, Brian Nowakowski, the head coach for Calumet College, talking to one of the umpires. I think he's trying to argue that it hit that first Midwest bank. That's the pitch speed clock out there in right center field. But staying at second will be Michael Macknick here with one out in the fifth inning. Third inning of relief for Jacob Jerka. And he's still pointing out there. I think he's saying that it hit that first Midwest sign, but he's going to be at second with one out in Andrew Davenport now. Davenport bloops it to Maliska at first, off the fists of Davenport. So 2 outs now in the fifth inning, and Kalinowski will step in. Kalinowski, a couple of strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. Saints with a one-run lead here in the top of the fifth. A one-out double from Michael Macknick. He's still there with 2 outs. First pitch swinging, hit right at John McGuire, and the Saints will work around a one-out double. And we're halfway through this one. Saints 3, Crimson Wave 2. Bottom of the fifth inning. And in that top of the inning, Michael Macknick hit a fly ball out to right center field that was ruled a double. I checked in between innings, but and they were indeed arguing that ball hit the first Midwest bank pitch speed sign out there in right, but it was ruled a double. Fortunate for St. Francis as Macknick was stranded at second. So we're in the bottom of the fifth now. Saints with a 3-2 lead. And they'll send up 3-4-5 here against William LaPretrie. LaPretrie struggled in that third, but cruised through a 1-2-3 fourth, and he'll face 3-4-5 here for the Saints in the fifth inning. Nate Maliska, Luke Ketchum, Brian Hidalgo, and if anybody reaches, John McGuire. Maliska 2 for 2 here this evening. Came in at a 314 hitter. Not a ton of power from Nate. Only 4 extra base hits, all doubles, but he gets on base. Average up over 320 now this season. His freshman campaign, only 6 strikeouts and 118 at-bats. Handles the bat really, really well. Does not strike out very much at all. He's up on the count here, 1-0. 1-0 from LaPretrie. Upstairs 2-0. LaPretrie up to 68 pitches now through 5+. There's right-handed action down in the Crimson Wave bullpen. Inside to Meliska, 3-0. Nate's reached twice, a couple of singles. He scored back in the third. He scored the third of the 3 St. Francis runs on an RBI from Brian Hidalgo. Inside, and Meliska draws a 4-pitch walk. Second walk issued here this evening by LaPretrie, and talked earlier about how that's not something he does that much. He's only walked 10 batters coming into tonight's game in just over 55 innings, and he's walked a couple here through 4+. Luke Ketchum now. Luke's reached twice, doesn't have an official at bat. He was hit by a pitch in the first. He walked in the third. Drops the bunt down in front of the plate. It's fielded there by the catcher. Throw over to first. They're going to say that Macknick kept his foot on the bag long enough on the throw from Kalinowski. And down to second goes Meliska, and Ketchum is out on the 2-3 putout. And Brian Mahalik is asking the 2 umpires to discuss that, saying that the home plate umpire probably had a better view of that play. It looked as though Macknick was pulled off the bag. We'll see what the 3 of them say. I mean, the throw absolutely pulled Macknick off the bag. It's just, was he able to keep that toe on the bag long enough to make the catch? From this angle, it appeared as though he didn't, and they are going to call him out. So Ketchum is out on the 2-3 putout. Down to second goes Meliska. And that was a close one. A close one down there at first base, but goes the way of the Crimson Wave. So Meliska down at second with 1 out, and Brian Hidalgo stepping in. Brian 1 for 2. He struck out swinging in the first and had an RBI single in the third. Drove in his 36th run of the season. Line drive to the second baseman, one hopped, gobbled up by Barbosa. He has it, makes the throw over to first, and Hidalgo hustling down the line beats that one out. That ball ate up Barbosa a little bit over there at second base. It was a hard line drive that kind of short hopped him. He was able to surround the baseball, but by the time he picked it up and made the throw over to first, Brian hustling down that line beats out. They're going to call that an error. They're going to call that an E4. Ruled an error. Tough scoring error, but ruled an error on the second baseman. So runners the corners now with 1 away, and John McGuire stepping in. Neither base runner has a ton of speed, both Hidalgo and Meliska, each with 3 stolen bases on the season. John, ground ball, base hit into left field. Meliska will score. Hidalgo will stop at second, and St. Francis tacks on another run. They're up 4-2. RBI for McGuire, number 24 on the season. I mentioned his last plate appearance. He's had some good swings against Calumet St. Joseph this season. He was 6 for 10 coming into action today in the 3 previous games. Now 7 for 13 in 3.5 games against the Crimson Wave. This is Gio Pappas. Gio reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. First pitch swinging, pops it up right behind home plate. Kalinowski is there, and he drops it. Kalinowski, that's a hard play for a catcher where he's backing up towards home plate from behind home plate. That's a tough play, but it's one if you asked him, he'll probably say he should have it. Gives Gio a second life here with runners at first and second. Hidalgo at second, McGuire at first. Pappas does have some pop in that bat. 4 home runs on the year in just 59 at-bats. See if he can take advantage of this new opportunity. Swings and misses, 0-2. Hidalgo at second. McGuire at first. Gio Pappas down 0-2 here to William LaPretrie. Pappas pops it up on the infield. In for it comes the third baseman, Joseph Selby. Infield fly. Pappas is out on the pop out to third, 2 away, and Dan Gusel. Now with 2 on and 2 out. Dan's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. St. Francis was down 2-0 after half an inning, and it was threatening to be a lot more as Calumet St. Joseph loaded the bases in the second, and they were not able to score. St. scored 3 in the bottom of the third. Exclamation point there was the 2-run home run by Eric Maffey. They've added 1 here in the fifth. They're up 4-2. First pitch to Goosel's in for a strike. LaPretrie with 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's allowed 6 hits, 4 runs. Check swing by Gusel is, and no, they're going to call appeal down to the first base umpire who says that Dan did not hold up. 0-2. Breeze blowing out towards left field now for the first time this evening. Swung on and missed, and Dan's down on strikes for a third time here this evening. That's 6 strikeouts for LaPretrie through 5, but the Saints tag him for another run, and we are through 5 here in Game 4, Day 1 of the CCAC tournament. St. Francis 4, Calumet College 2. We're in the 6th, and Jacob Jerka, 3 innings of 1-hit shutout ball in relief of Sam Pileggi. So the freshman coming in a high-pressure situation, getting the job done here in the middle innings, and he'll face Nicholas Anderson, Darius Little, Cody Wilkins for the Crimson Wave if anybody reaches Nino Barbosa. Jerka's given up 1 hit, hasn't walked anybody. He struck out a batter. First pitch swinging line drive right at Brian Hidalgo. Goes down on one knee, squeezes it off the bat, and Nicholas Anderson, 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 6th. Ball hit hard, but the last two balls that were hit, the ground ball from Kalinowski in the top of the 5th, and then that line drive by Nicholas Anderson, just shows you advanced scouting and positioning. The 2 middle infielders did not have to move an inch to their left or right to field either ball that was hit to them for the last 2 outs. This is Darius Little. He's 0 for 1. He reached on an error his last time up. Breaking pitches upstairs. The count is 1-1. Lofted out to right field. Maffey over towards right center. Not very deep. Makes the catch for out number 2 here in the 6th. That'll bring up Cody Wilkins, the shortstop. Jerka looking for a 1-2-3 6th inning. It's 3 2/3 innings of 1-hit ball here from Jerka. in relief of Sam Pileggi. Sam, again, didn't have his best stuff here this evening. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. He walked 5, very uncharacteristic, and struck out 3. Was able to get out of that jam in the second inning, and that was huge for his team as it gave the offense an opportunity to get things started in the third. It's 1-1 now on Wilkins. It's 0 for 1. He laid down a sac bunt his last time up. Walked back in the second. To the backstop. 2-1. The winner of today's game will take on Indiana South Bend tomorrow right here at 1 p.m. Line drive to center. That'll be a 2-out single for Cody Wilkins here in the 6th. Lands in front of Luke Ketchum out there in center field. That'll bring up Nino Barbosa now, the number 9 hitter. So the winner of tonight's game will take on Indiana South Bend, the number 5 seed, tomorrow at 1. The loser of this game will take on the number 4 seed, Trinity Christian, over at Trinity Christian tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So 2 games over at Trinity Christian, 2 games here at Dooley Health and Care Field. I'll have the call for the 2 games here at Dooley Health and Care Field for you tomorrow. First game at 10 a.m. That's St. Xavier against Roosevelt. And this is Nino Barbosa, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. Laid a sac bunt down in the second, grounded out to short in the 4th. Pops it up to the right side. Meliska will give it a glance. That'll land about 3 rows deep behind the Crimson Wave dugout. 1-1 on Barbosa, the second baseman. The 1-1. This time hit more on a line, but end result is the same. It's still a foul ball. Down onto the grassy area down the right field line. Breeze a little bit more prominent than it was during the first 4 innings. That flag blowing stiffly out towards left field now. The 1-2. Topped to the third baseman, Martinez. Alex has it. Hard throw to first. And beating that out will be Barbosa. Hit just a little too softly for Martinez to do anything with that. So 2 on now with 2 outs, and we're up to the top of the order for Calumet St. Joseph. This is Sean Moore. Moore's 0 for 3. Some would say he's due. The team's leading hitter at .336 on the season. Comes up with 2 on and 2 out in the 6th inning. Jerka looking to get out of really his first jam of the evening. A couple of 2-out singles. And he pumps the first pitch in to Moore for a strike. Moore's 0 for 3. Strikeout, flyout, ground out. Jerka, long look in, checks the runner at second, delivers it home. Ball smacked out to right center field. Over for it is Ketchum, and Luke makes the over-the-shoulder running catch out towards right center field to end the threat. So no runs, 2 hits, a couple of runners left on here in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Saints 4, Crimson Wave 2. Bottom 6 here in Joliet. St. Francis with a 4-2 lead. And William LaPretrie Jr. out there for his 6th inning of work. He's up to 81 pitches here. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, couple of walks, 6 strikeouts, and he'll face 9-1-2 for the Saints. That's Jake Vera, Alex Martinez, Eric Maffey. And if anybody reaches, Nate Maliska here in the 6th. Saints tacked on a run in the 5th, an RBI single by John McGuire. Looking for more here in the 6th. First pitch to Vera, misses away for a ball. Jake's 0 for 2. Fly out and a ground out. The 1-0. Hit down the left field line, but that'll slice out of play. 1-1 now on the Saints starting left fielder. Vera has played 46 of the team's 48 games coming into today. Saints are 24-24 on the season, 19-8 in the CCAC, and absolutely red hot down the stretch. 14-1 in their last 15 games. Vera lines it out to right center field. It's not a place Jake hits the ball very much, and he'll pick up a double as he's able to turn on that pitch. A leadoff double for Vera here in the 6th inning, and the Saints get the leadoff man on and threaten right away. Back up to the top of the order, Alex Martinez. That's the 10th extra base hit, 10th double of the year, rather, for Jake Vera. And here's Alex Martinez. Alex 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the 3rd. That double sandwiched in between a flyout and a ground out to second his last time up. Like to see another one of those ground balls to the right side. A ground ball to second base. We'd get that runner over to 3rd. First pitch to Martinez. Tries to hold up. He can't. 0-1. Some right-handed action getting loose down in the Calumet St. Joseph bullpen. Martinez, 21 RBIs on the season, has Vera at second, an 0-1 count. Misses outside, 1-1. Joseph Selby, the third baseman, even with the bag down at third base. Second baseman Nino Barbosa trying to keep Vera close. The 1-1 to Martinez. Lashed foul, 1-2. Nobody out here, bottom of the 6th inning. St. Francis with a 4-2 lead on Calumet St. Joseph. Jake Vera down at second. Alex Martinez at the plate. Martinez down the right field line. Over into the Calumet St. Joseph bullpen. That aforementioned right-handed pitcher down there had to scoot out of the way or that one was going to get him. Very similar to last plate appearance for Martinez, where he got down in the count and then fouled off a bunch of pitches before eventually grounding out to second, but not going quietly, fighting off a lot of pitches in that top spot in the order. Popped up off the hands, and nobody's able to get to that one. It lands right in front of the Crimson Wave dugout. Count will stay 1-2. Third straight pitch Martinez has fouled off after the count running to 1-2. Martinez is ready, holds that bat out, brings it back. That back right foot right on the back of the batter's box. LaPretrie is ready again, trying to put away Martinez with the 1-2. Misses away. 2-2. 2-2 the count. LaPretrie kicks and fires. Downstairs 3-2. So yeah, very similar to that last plate appearance that Martinez had against LaPretrie. LaPretrie got ahead of Martinez 0-2, and Alex Martinez was able to battle back to work the count full. Let's see what the end result is of this matchup. Last time it was a ground out to second. The 3-2 now from LaPretrie to Martinez. Misses away. And Alex Martinez draws a walk. That's the third bases on balls of the evening for LaPretrie. That'll be 2 on with nobody out for Eric Maffey. And we'll have a mound visit here. LaPretrie's pitch count up to 92. See if they're going to make a move here. It's a slow walk to the pitcher's mound here by Nowakowski. The right-hander down in the bullpen is still down there. Hasn't made the move towards the mound yet. But this is a very dangerous time in this game for Calumet St. Joseph, as they're already down 4-2. They have 2 on, nobody out, and probably the best hitter in the CCAC this year coming to the plate in Eric Maffey. Eric's 1 for 3 today. 2-run home run in the third, couple of flyouts. Last time he was robbed of a hit out in right field by Nicholas Anderson, who made a kind of half-lunging, half-diving catch out in right field to retire Maffey in the fourth. Eric comes up with 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. Maffey's home run in the third, his 20th of the regular season. Second place all-time single-season home run record here for the Saints. First pitch to Maffey. Hit to right a long way, giving chase is Anderson. He's in foul territory and slides. That ball eludes him, takes one hop into out of play rather. So 0-1. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Saints. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Crimson Wave. We're in the bottom of the sixth. 2 on, nobody out. Eric Maffey at the plate for St. Francis against William LaPretrie Jr., who's up to 92 pitches now. Double-barreled right-handed action in the Crimson Wave bullpen rather. The 0-1 to Maffey. Punched foul, 0-2 on Eric. The runner at second is Jake Vera. He reached on a leadoff double. Alex Martinez walked. It's the third walk of the game for LaPretrie. He had only walked 10 all season coming into this one. He's walked 3 so far here this evening. The 0-2 now to Maffey. Vera bouncing away over there at second base, and he struck him out on 3 pitches. 7 strikeouts here for LaPretrie. Got Maffey waving. 1 away here in the sixth. Maffey now 1 for 4. Nate Melisko's been on base 3 times, and that's a huge out for LaPretrie. Getting Eric Maffey with 2 on and nobody out. Melisko's been on base 3 times, couple of singles and a walk. He scored a pair of runs. First pitch swinging, pops it up to shallow left. In on it comes Moore, and he makes the catch as the second baseman, Nino Barbosa, came charging out. A couple of players lost their hats on that F7 flyout. The wind is picked up significantly here over the last couple of innings, blowing straight out towards left field now. 2 outs now in the 6th inning as LaPretrie trying to work around a double and a walk leading off the 6th, and he has to get through Luke Ketchum in order to get out of this one. Luke 0 for 1. Last time up, he dropped down a bunt and was called out on a very close play over at first base. Comes up here with 2 on, 2 out in the 6th. This team up by a run, by 2 runs. First pitch fouled back. The 0-1 now to Ketchum. Misses down, 1-1. If Ketchum reaches Hidalgo, Brian Hidalgo gets another chance to hit here in the 6th. Jake Vera led off with a double. Alex Martinez walked. Looked like a very promising inning for the Saints here, but a strikeout of Eric Maffey and a flyout by Nate Maliska. Now going to require a 2-out hit, and they get a 2-out hit. Rounding third is Vera. He scores, and it's a 5-2 lead. The ball gets away. The throw down to third, and into third safely is Alex Martinez, and Luke Ketchum into second. So they needed a 2-out hit. They got a 2-out hit, an RBI single from Luke Ketchum, and it's 5-2. RBI number 26 on the year for Ketchum, and it looks like that's going to be it here for LaPretrie. 5 2/3 innings, and he will depart. New pitcher on the mound here for Calumet. St. Joseph will give you the particulars on the other side. The Saints lead this one 5-2, bottom of the 6th. New pitcher for the Crimson Wave is the right-hander Jorge Santos. 6'1" righty out of Homewood Flossmoor, making his 14th appearance of the season, a 1-3 mark, an ERA of 6.75, 18 2/3 innings for the righty. 22 hits, he struck out 16 and walked 14, and he will face Brian Hidalgo with 2 in scoring position and 2 out here in the 6th. Hidalgo 1 for 3, had an RBI single back in the 3rd, looking to pick up a couple more here with a single in the 6th. This team up by 3. It's 5-2, bottom of the 6th. William LaPretrie Jr., 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, responsible for both runners. 5 runs so far, 4 of them earned. He walked 3, struck out 7. First pitch in there, hard thrower Santos puts that one over for a strike. So LaPretrie gives way to Santos here with 2 outs in the 6th. The Saints with a 5-2 lead. The 0-1 to Hidalgo, line down the right field line. Slicing foul, 0-2 on the St. Francis shortstop. Brian struck out swinging to end the first inning, had an RBI single in the 3rd, reached on an E4 his last time up. The 0-2. Blocked in the dirt. Charging down that line, Alex Martinez. Hidalgo throws up that left hand to keep him right where he was. Blocked nicely by Kalinowski. Runner at 3rd is Alex Martinez. Runner at 2nd is Luke Ketchum. They both advance to base on the throw home, trying to nab Jake Vera at the plate. The 1-2 now. Upstairs. Pops that mitt. Really hard thrower, Santos. Santos bends at the waist, has the red sleeves digging out from underneath the blue jersey. That one misses downstairs, 3-2. John McGuire hoping to get a cut here in the bottom of the 6th. Count is full on Hidalgo. Here comes the payoff pitch from Santos. Ground ball to the left side into the hole. Stopped there by Wilkins. And that keeps Ketchum at third. But it does bring home Martinez. That's the second hit, second RBI of the evening for Brian Hidalgo. And it's 6-2 now. So Hidalgo with a couple of RBI singles here. RBIs 36 and 37 this year. Goes down to first on the infield single. And that'll bring up John McGuire, who's 1 for 3. He had an RBI single his last time up. McGuire 1 for 3 today. 7 for 13 against Calumet St. Joseph here this season. First pitch to John. Foul tipped into the mitt of Kalinowski, 0-1. There goes Hidalgo, and he'll steal second base without a throw. For Brian, that's stolen base number 4 on the season. The pitch is a ball to McGuire, so he now has 2 runners in scoring position. Ketchum at third, Hidalgo at second, 2 away here in the 6th. 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Gio Pappas taking his practice cuts in the on-deck circle. 2-1 now to McGuire. Santos delivers. Chopped to third. Selby has it. Hard throw across the diamond to retire the side. But the Saints pick up a couple. We're through 6. St. Francis looking to advance here in the CCAC tournament. They're up 6-2 going to the 7th. We're in the 7th, and St. Francis with a 4-run lead here. It's 6-2. You can look at the fact that the St. Francis offense kind of kicked itself into high gear, so to speak, in that 3rd inning. But really, I would say the story of this game has been the relief pitching of Jacob Jerka, who came in for Sam Pileggi. Sam went the first 2 innings and gave up a couple of runs, didn't have his control. He walked 5. Jacob Jerka came in to start off the 3rd. He's given up 3 hits, no runs. He hasn't walked anybody. He struck out 1 in 4 scoreless innings of relief so far, and that really allowed the offense to get themselves started here. He's pitching in the 7th. He's facing Joseph Selby, Michael Macknick, and Andrew Davenport. Selby 0 for 1. He's up in the count here, 2-0. He's walked a couple of times. Something he does really, really well. 15 walks and 62 plate appearances, and that one hits him. So he's on base for a 3rd time here, this time leading off the 7th inning. It's the first time Jerka has allowed the leadoff man to reach here this evening, and only the 2nd time the Crimson Wave have had the leadoff man on in any inning. Darius Little led off the 2nd with a walk, but that's been it. This is Michael Macknick. He had a fly ball to right center field his last time up that turned into a double. He thought it hit the first Midwest Bank pitch speed sign out there in right center field. Thought it was a home run, but it was ruled a double, and he ended up being stranded at second. Throw over to first, and Selby's back in safely. No stolen bases this season for Joseph Selby. Has been caught once. Macknick came in at 248. Throw down to second as they're trying to catch Selby roaming off first base a little bit. Macknick, 4 home runs on the season. That was his 13th double. He's up in the count here, 2-0. Popped up high into the air on the infield. The shortstop Hidalgo calls for it. Has to come back a little back towards behind the second base bag, but he makes the catch for the first out here in the 7th. Big out for Jerka here in inning 7. He had hit Selby to lead off the inning. Fell behind Macknick, 2-0. Was able to get him to pop out, and this will bring up Davenport now. Davenport 1 for 3 with an RBI back in the first. He also no-hit St. Francis back on the 24th of March. 9 strikeouts over 7 innings. Only needed 62 pitches to complete the no-hitter. He's up in the count here, 1-0. Make it 2-0. Again, Jerka seems to have lost the plate here a little bit in what is now his 5th inning of relief, and there is right-handed action down in the St. Francis bullpen that looks like number 9, Quinn McGuire, down there. Ground ball to the shortstop, Hidalgo. Bryan has it across his body to retire Davenport. 2 away, down to second goes Selby. Bryan Hidalgo having himself a game. Couple of RBIs, couple of hits. Some good defensive plays out there. So 2 away here in the 7th, and Kalinowski now will step in. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. He grounded out to second to end the 5th inning. First pitch to Ryan Kalinowski is a strike, 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. If this score holds, Jacob Jerka, the freshman, would pick up his team-leading 5th victory of the season and would send St. Francis to a 1 p.m. matchup against the number 5 seed Indiana South Bend tomorrow. That would then send Calumet St. Joe to Trinity Christian tomorrow at 1 o'clock to play the number 4 seed Trinity Christian. In the loser's side of the bracket, 2-1. It was 1-2. This count on the scoreboard was wrong. It was 1-2, and Jerka rings up Kalinowski for a 3rd time here this evening, and that will retire the side. That is 5 shutout innings of relief for Jacob Jerka. It's time to stretch. Get up and stretch those quads. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th. The Saints lead at 6-2. Bottom of the 7th inning, Jorge Santos out there for his first full inning of relief. He retired, gave up a single, RBI single to Brian Hidalgo, and then retired John McGuire on a 5-3 groundout. So the book is closed on William LaPretrie Jr. 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them were earned. He walked 3. He struck out 7. Santos will face the bottom of the St. Francis lineup here in the 7th. Pappas, Gusel, Vera. First pitch to Gio is upstairs for a ball. Pappas 0 for 3. A strikeout. Saints with a 4-run lead here, bottom of the 7th, looking to advance to the second round of this CCAC tournament. 2-0 now on the designated hitter, Gio Pappas. Gio, 6 feet, 211-pound senior out of Lockport. Inside 3-0. Almost hit him. Santos with the 3-0. Fastball taken all the way by Gio, 3-1. Misses away, and Pappas draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bring up Dan Gusel. Dan's had a tough time at the dish here this evening. 0 for 3, 3 swinging strikeouts. We have a pinch hitter here for Gusel. That'll be Jake Lasota pinch hitting. Jake gives the Saints a little more offense at the plate. He's at .232 on the season. 1 home run, 16 runs knocked in. He swings and misses at the first pitch. He and Dan have been basically splitting time behind the plate this season. Jake's played 31 games. Dan's played 28. The 0-1 to Lasota. Blocked in the dirt. Gets away just far enough for Pappas to advance. Good base running there by Gio Pappas. That ball didn't get away from Kalinowski by that much, but Gio was off with the pitch. He finds himself now at second with nobody out. The 1-1 pitch to Lasota. Away, 2-1. Jake Vera in the on-deck circle. Saints looking to add to their 6-2 lead here, bottom of the 7th inning. Calumet St. Joe scored 2 runs in the top of the first. They had 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out in the second. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the second and couldn't extend their lead. And then the Saints offense got started in the third. Line drive to right center field, down for a base hit. That will score. Pappas rolls all the way to the wall. Lasota hits second. He's going to try, makes the turn for third. Here comes the throw. Lasota is in, and he is out at third base. So that ball didn't get more than about 10 or 12 feet off the ground, but it just kept carrying. Lasota picks up the RBI double. He's thrown at third on the perfect relay throw, the 9.65 relay throw. Retires Lasota at third, but he does pick up an RBI, and that extends the Saints' lead. It is 7-2 for Lasota. That's his second double of the year. RBI number 17. Bases are now empty with 1 out for Jake Vera. Good piece of hitting by Jake, taking that ball the opposite way. Downstairs to Vera, 1-0 rather. Vera 1 for 3 here this evening, doubled his last time up, scored on the single by Luke Ketchum. Hard ground ball to the right side, foul though. 1-1 now. Saints have scored in each of the last 3 innings and 4 of the last 5 as they've turned a 2-0 deficit into a 7-2 lead here in the 7th. Breaking pitch. Hit over to the second baseman, Barbosa. He retires Vera for a second time this evening. Jake's now 1 for 4. And that brings the Saints back up to the top of their lineup, and Alex Martinez. Alex, 1 for 3. He walked and scored his last time up, doubled and scored back in the third. He's worked a couple of long at-bats in this one as well against the starter, William Lepretri Jr. Two outs, nobody on. Bottom of the seventh. First pitch swinging by Martinez. Fouled into the netting, 0-1. 7 runs on now 10 hits and 1 error for the University of St. Francis. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Calumet College of St. Joseph. Upstairs, 1-1. Downstairs in the dirt, 2-1 on Vera. It's Jorge Santos. He's allowed a run and a couple of hits in an inning of work. Pumps that pitch in for a strike. 2-2 now on Alex Martinez. If Martinez reaches Maffey, Eric Maffey would hit here in the 7th with his team up 5. And that'll have to wait till next inning as Martinez waves at the 2-2 pitch, goes down swinging, and that will retire the side for the Saints. But St. Francis picks up another run. We're through 7 here in the first round of the CCAC tournament. Saints 7, Crimson Wave 2. New pitcher out there for the 8th inning for the Saints. That is the sophomore Quinn McGuire, who's been electric as of late for the Saints, making his 18th appearance of the season. He is 4-3 on the year with an ERA just over 4.2. 32 hits in 32 innings, 17 strikeouts, 18 walks for Quinn, but he has been really, really good as of late. Just one earned run allowed in his last 10 innings of work. He's allowed a couple of runs in 5 1/3 innings against Calumet St. Joseph this season in a couple of appearances. First pitch in to Nicholas Anderson is a strike. So the book is closed on Jacob Jerka, and he was absolutely outstanding. He gave the Saints offense an opportunity to get on track. He pitched 5 scoreless innings of relief, allowed just 3 hits. He didn't walk anybody, which was probably the most important thing, given that Sam Pileggi struggled with his control, walking 5 in the first 2. Jerka didn't walk anybody. In his 5 innings of relief, he struck out a couple. Gives way to Quinn McGuire here in the 8th. He's up 1-2 on Nicholas Anderson, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. We're in the 8th. University of St. Francis with a 5-run lead at 7-2. 1-2 on Anderson. Line drive into right field for a base hit. Leadoff single here in the 8th for the Crimson Wave. Darius Little now. He's been on base twice. He's 0 for 2. He walked and reached on an error in the 4th. He flew out to right his last time up. Saints are up 5 in the 8th. Next game is about 12 hours from now. That'll be St. Xavier against Roosevelt at 10 a.m. here at Dooley Health and Care Field tomorrow morning. Counts 2-0 on Little. Cody Wilkins followed by Nino Barbosa after Little here. Downstairs. Dan Gusso back in at catcher. He was pinch hit for by Jake Lasota in the bottom of the 7th. So Quinn down 3-0 here on Little. Get me over fastball, gets him over 3-1. Nicholas Anderson at first. He has a couple of hits. Three and one now on Little. Ground ball to third, and that's a fair ball down into the St. Francis bullpen, up over the mound. Runner into third, Little into second, and Calumet St. Joseph not going away here as they put 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out in the 8th inning. Hard ground ball down the third base line by Darius Little. It's an RBI opportunity for Cody Wilkins, who singled to center his last time up. Wilkins been on base a couple of times. He walked in the 2nd. He reached on laid down a sacrifice bunt rather in the 4th, and then again singled his last time up. So 2 on, nobody out in scoring position here in the 8th for the number 8 hitter, Cody Wilkins. First pitch to him. Hit in the air out to left. Vera goes back. He's near the wall. Makes the catch right in front of the wall. Both runners tag, both runners advance. Nicholas Anderson comes in to score. It's a sac fly to left for Cody Wilkins, and that gets the Crimson Wave within 4. It is 7-3 for Wilkins. That is his 6th RBI of the season on the sac fly to left. Hit that ball hard, but again, that wind blowing pretty stiffly out to left field now. It was not really blowing at all for the first 4 or 5 innings, but Wilkins got that ball up into the breeze, and Vera had to chase that back to the wall. Darius Little goes to third on the flyout. That'll bring up Nino Barbosa. He singled his last time up. He has an RBI opportunity here with his team down by 4 in the 8th. The 0-1 pitch. High fastball, swings through it. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Blocked in the dirt by Gussel. 1-2. It's only the 2nd earned run that Quinn has allowed since April 7th. He's been, as I mentioned, he's been really, really good for the Saints over the last month. Fouled right back by us, right onto the roof. I don't know if you could hear that banging around up there. I feel like it's going to fall through one of the vents that's above our heads. 1-2 the count here on Barbosa. Little check swing, drops it to the first baseman. Meliska underhanded and in and out of the glove of Quinn McGuire, and Nino Barbosa reaches. That'll drive home another run, and it's a 3-run game. That was an odd swing by Barbosa. It was a little bit of a half check swing bunt thing, and he landed it perfectly, and Nate Meliska was able to field it, but not able to retire Barbosa, who picks up his 2nd hit in his many plate appearances. That's an RBI single, and it's a 3-run ball game. It's 7-4 for Barbosa. That is just his 5th RBI of the season. So getting some RBI contributions from the bottom of the lineup here. Cody Wilkins with his 6th RBI of the season. Barbosa with his 5th. back up to the top of the order where they can do some damage. Sean Moore came in hitting almost 340 on the year, and he's 0 for 4. Tying run in the on-deck circle. Barbosa 3 for 6 in stolen base attempts this season. Leadoff single by Nicholas Anderson, a double by Darius Little, fly out to the wall out and left by Cody Wilkins, and then an infield single by Nino Barbosa. And this is a 3-run game in the 8th. First pitch is over to Moore for a strike. Nothing and a 1. Throw over to first. Barbosa back in safely. There was action in the Saints bullpen, right-handed action down there. The 0-1. Moore drops the bunt down, and that rolls foul. Tried to push that down the third base line, looking for a base hit. And he finds himself down in the count, 0-2. Oh and 2 on the leadoff hitter, Sean Moore. Joseph Selby in the on-deck circle. He's been on base 3 times. McGuire would love nothing more than a ground ball right at one of those middle infielders. The 0-2. Lashed over about 10 or 11 rows back down the third baseline. Seven 4 in the 8th. Misses away. Calumet St. Joseph scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning. And that was all of their scoring until here in the 8th, where they've picked up a couple. They have Barbosa at first with 1 out. A 1-2 count on Sean Moore. Quinn McGuire deals. Fly ball hit to left, slicing away from Vera. That'll land over in the St. Francis bullpen for a foul, and we'll do it again. 1-2. Middle infield at double play depth. Jake Vera, the left fielder, really shallow. Pitch is just away, 2-2. Jake playing very, very shallow left field. McGuire deals the 2-2. It's whiffed at and missed. Sean Moore, he gifted that one to McGuire as he chased that out of the strike zone. Moore's had a tough evening. He's 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts. First strikeout of the evening for McGuire, and a huge strikeout second out of the inning here in the 8th, and that'll bring up Joseph Selby. Selby's officially 0 for 1, but he's been on base 3 times. Couple of walks, and he was hit by a pitch his last time up. He scored a run back in the first. He's got Barbosa at first base with 2 outs now. It's 1-0. Selby came in with an on-base percentage north of 500 this season. 506 coming into action today, and he's been on base in 3 of his 4 plate appearances today, so that OBP's gone up even further. Counts even at 1. Saints will send up Maffey, Maliska, and Ketchum in their half of the 8th. Inside pitch, Selby tried to kind of twist out of the way and turn on that one, but couldn't get the hands in deep enough, and he's down in the count 1-2. Called strike 3. Dan Gusel knew it as soon as that ball crossed home plate. Selby goes down looking. McGuire strikes out the last 2 batters he faces in the 8th inning. But Calumet St. Joe's get him for a couple. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's a 3-run game. New pitcher for Calumet St. Joseph. This is Gerardo Hernandez, the senior out of Chicago. And he'll face Eric Maffey leading things off here. Hernandez making his 11th appearance of the season. He's allowed 26 hits in 9 innings of work. Has struck out 7 in those 9 innings, and he'll face Maffey, Maliska, and Ketchum here in the 8th. First 2 pitches away to Eric, who's 1 for 4 with a 2-run home run. Jorge Santos went an inning and a third, gave up a couple of hits, an earned run. He didn't walk anybody, and he walked 1 and struck out 1. 2-0 to Maffey. Is upstairs 3-0. So we're in the bottom of the 8th. Calumet St. Joseph made it a little bit closer in their half of the 8th. They scored a couple, making it 7-4. And there's a 3-0 pitch in there to Eric Maffey for a strike, 3-1. Eric struck out with 2 on and nobody out in the 6th inning. And he draws a leadoff walk here in the 8th. Nate Maliska now. Nate, 2 for 3, couple of singles, a walk, a couple of runs scored. Talk about what Eric Maffey can do with the bat, hitting close to 400, hitting his 20th home run of the season this year. Also has 10 stolen bases on the year, 2nd on the team. Maliska drops the bunt down. It's fielded by Hernandez. He's got nowhere to go with it. Perfect bunt by Maliska. So the first 2 runners reach here in the 8th. Maffey down to 2nd, Maliska down to 1st. His 3rd single of the game. First 2 batters on here in the 8th for the cleanup hitter, Luke Ketchum. So St. Francis looking to get those runs right back here in inning number 8. First baseman Macknick in on the grass, expecting a bunt from Ketchum. Third baseman Joseph Selby even with the bag. Ketchum does square to bunt, pulls it back. Pitches outside, blocked in the dirt by Kalinowski. 1-0. Saints looking to get those 2 runners into scoring position here with 1 out. Ketchum squares to bunt, drops it back to Hernandez. Has it, throws it to first. It's off the glove of the first baseman, Macknick. Scoring will be Maffey. Into 3rd goes Maliska. Down to 2nd goes Ketchum as the Crimson Wave throw the ball around here a little bit. Couple of errors, an E3 and an E2. Allow the runner Luke Ketchum to make first and then reach 2nd. Scoring is Maffey. Over to 3rd goes Maliska. And St. Francis gets one of those 2 runs back. It is 8-4 here. Now that's the 3rd and 4th errors of the game committed by Calumet St. Joseph. Luke Ketchum dropped the bunt down. Hernandez made the play. It was a catchable ball. It just popped out of the glove of Macknick, and then the throw to home plate trying to get Maffey popped out of the catcher's glove. And there's a single to left center field by Brian Hidalgo. RBIs 3 and 4 here this evening for Brian Hidalgo, and the Saints do indeed get those 2 runs back and more as Maliska scores, Ketchum scores, and that's a 10 spot for St. Francis. They're up 10-4. Hidalgo wasting no time. Brian now 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs here this evening. 4 RBIs, not a season high for Brian Hidalgo, though. He had a 5 RBI game earlier this month. This is John McGuire now in there for a strike. John 1 for 4 with an RBI single back in the 5th. So 10 runs now on 12 hits with 1 error for the Saints. 4 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors for the Crimson Wave. McGuire slaps it out to right field. Anderson makes the catch out there. 1 out here in the 8th. In the ninth for Calumet St. Joe, it'll be Michael Macknick, Andrew Davenport, and Ryan Kalinowski as they now are in a 6-run hole here in the 8th. This is Gio Pappas. Gio walked and scored in the 7th. That pitch is downstairs, 1-0 to Gio. One and 0 on the designated hitter. In there for a strike, 1-1 on Pappas. Stan Gusel in the on-deck circle. We'll see if he bats for himself here or if he gets pinch hit for again. Pappas ground ball fouled on the third base line. Stopped down there by Brian Mahalik. He's got the hoodie on. It's gotten a little chilly here at Dooley Health and Care Field as the sun went down. It was in the low 60s at first pitch. We're in the low 50s at this point. It's supposed to be an absolutely picture-perfect day for baseball tomorrow. Mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. For the 10 a.m. game between St. Xavier and Roosevelt, temperatures expected to be about 65 degrees and a bright sunny sky. For the 1 o'clock game, mid-70s. Pappas hits the ball deep out to left field. Over forward is Moore, and he makes the catch in deep left center field for the second out here in the 8th inning. Gio gave that a ride. Got up into the breeze a little bit, but plenty of room out there and left for Sean Moore to make the catch. And this is Dan Gusel. Dan 0 for 3. Struck out swinging in all 3 plate appearances. He was pinch hit for his last time up by Jake Lasota. Jake had a double, was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. First pitch to Gusel's outside for a ball, 1-0. If Dan reaches, Jake Vera would get another chance to hit here in the 8th. St. Francis is up 10-4. The winner of this game will take on Indiana South Bend tomorrow at 1 p.m. right here. Dan, big swing ahead of that pitch. A high changeup, and Lasota just missed, or excuse me, Gusel just missed it. The loser of this game has to go to Trinity Christian tomorrow to take on Trinity Christian in the 1 p.m. game. Dan smacks that one to left. Back on it goes Moore. It's over his head. It one-hops the wall. Stopping at third is Hidalgo, and that's got to feel good for Dan as he struck out swinging in his first 3 plate appearances, but here in his 4th plate appearance of the night in the 8th inning, he lines a double to left field. He'll be pinch run for here by Matt Montgomery. Pinch runner in the 9th, Montgomery. Hidalgo at 3rd. Montgomery at 2nd. Jake Vera looking to pick up a couple of runners from scoring position here in the 8th. Vera hits it foul down the left field line, 0-1. Jake 1 for 4 with a double. Fouls that pitch straight back, 0-2. If Vera reaches, it'll go back up to the top of the order in Alex Martinez. Saints have scored 3 here in the 8th, courtesy of a couple of errors. The 0-2 to Jake is downstairs. They do have 3 hits. Singles by Maliska and a 2-run single by Brian Hidalgo, and then a double by Dan Gusel. 3 hits, 3 runs here in the 8th. Jake smacks it to center, and the catch is made out there by Darius Little to retire the side. The Saints score 3. They strand a couple in scoring position. We're through 8 full. We go to the 9th. Calumet College needs 6 to tie. We'll be back at the top of the 9th. In to close it out here in the 9th is the junior righty Matt Lopez, 5'7", 190-pounder out of Morris, making just his 5th appearance of the season out of the bullpen for the Saints. And he's been effective in his previous 4, 6 1/3 innings, only 5 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 6 and walked 3. It's a 1.42 ERA, 1 earned run in 6 1/3 innings. And he will face Michael Macknick, Andrew Davenport, Ryan Kalinowski here in the 9th as Calumet St. Joe needs 6 to extend this one here this evening. First pitch is downstairs for a ball. Lopez pumps that one in for a strike. So Sam Pileggi went the first 2, gave up a couple of hits, couple of runs. He walked 5, very uncharacteristic, struck out 3, just didn't have feel for his pitches. Jacob Jerka came in and pitched 5 shutout innings of relief, allowed only 3 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out a pair. He's in line for his 5th win of the season. Quinn McGuire went the 8th, gave up 3 hits, couple of runs, couple of strikeouts. As Macknick pops it up to shallow left, and Jake Vera makes the diving catch coming in from left. He hits the ground hard, bounces back up, 1 away here in the 9th. What a way to start off the 9th inning, a diving play in left. Jake Vera supermaning it out there in left field, 1 away. On the other side for Calumet St. Joseph, William LaPretrie Jr. went 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs. 5 of them were earned. He walked 3, struck out 7. Jorge Santos went an inning and a third, giving up a run, and then Gerardo Hernandez gave up a couple of earned runs last inning. 1 away here in the 9th, and Andrew Davenport stepping in. He's 1 for 4. Locked in the dirt by Goosel, 1-0. Ball's hit high and deep out to left field. Vera gives chase. He's at the wall. He runs out of room. And that's a solo home run to left for Andrew Davenport. And Calumet College within 5 here now at 10-5. For Davenport, that's his 5th home run of the season. 2nd hit of the game, 2nd RBI of the game. And the Crimson Wave not going quietly here in the final frames. They scored 2 in the 8th, 1 so far here in the 9th. They still find themselves down by 5. And this is Ryan Kalinowski, who's 0 for... Oh, there's a pinch hitter here. Excuse me. That looks like Jacob St. Marie pinch hitting here. And And the count's 1-1. Pinch hitting here in the ninth. St. Marie, 220 hitter on the season with 6 runs knocked in. Takes that pitch over for a strike, 1-2. Saints looking to win their 7th game in a row and 15 in their last 16 tries. St. Marie just reaches out and punches it out to right field, and that's going to land in no man's land. That'll be a base hit to right for Jacob St. Marie. Just flicked the bat at it, and he couldn't have thrown that thing down the right field line any better. It's a 1-out single. That'll bring up Nicholas Anderson. And really, it's been the bottom of this Calumet St. Joseph lineup, really the 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters that have caused the most grief. Nicholas Anderson, 2 hits and an RBI. Darius Little, the number 7 hitter, has reached base 3 times. Cody Wilkins has reached base twice, has an RBI. Nino Barbosa out of the number 9 hole has a couple of hits and an RBI. So this is the part of the order that's caused issues for the Saints here tonight. First pitch is downstairs for a ball. Nicholas Anderson singled and scored in the 8th. Catches the inside edge for a strike, 1-1. Blocked in the dirt by Gusel, 2-1 on Anderson. Matt Lopez out here to try to close it out for the Saints. Pumps that one in for a strike, 2-2 on Anderson. Saints looking for their 20th conference victory of the season. Up and in. Count goes full. Crimson Wave battling here in the final 2 innings. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits in the 8th. They've got a run on 2 so far here in the 9th. Another ball hit out to right. In comes Maffey, and it lands in front of Eric. Eric gets the throw down to second, and he's able to retire the runner at second. Jacob St. Marie and Maffey had St. Marie fooled on that. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. The 9-6 putout down at second base. You don't see that very often, but Eric Maffey really played Jacob St. Marie defensively there. St. Marie thought that ball was going to be caught. Only went about a third of the way down the second base line. It landed, and Maffey was able to field the ball and throw out St. Marie easily for the second out here in the 9th inning. That'll bring up Darius Little now. Little double down the left field line his last time up. He's been on base 3 times. The double, a walk, and he reached on an error in the 4th. 2 away here in the 9th inning. First, the 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Fouled off over by the St. Francis dugout. 1-2 now on the center fielder, Darius Little. Calumet St. Joe down to their last strike here in the first round of the CCAC tournament. In the dirt, blocked by Gusel again, 2-2. If Little reaches, Cody Wilkins gets a chance to hit. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Lopez strikes out Little, retires the side, and St. Francis moves on to the second round of the CCAC tournament, where they will take on the number 5 seed Indiana South Bend tomorrow at 1 p.m., while Calumet St. Joe will travel to Trinity Christian to take on the number 4 seed Trinity Christian tomorrow at 1 p.m. over at their school at Trinity Christian University. So the final score here from St. Francis, or from Dooley Health and Care Field rather, is the St. Francis Saints 10, the Calumet St. Joseph Crimson Wave 5. Winning pitcher is Jacob Jerka. He improves to 5-1 on the season. The losing pitcher is William Lapretrie Jr. He drops to 3-4. The Saints 10 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. Calumet St. Joseph 5 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors. Calumet St. Joe got on the board early, 2 runs in the first. The Saints tied it in the third on a mammoth 2-run home run by Eric Maffey. They'd pick up another single, an RBI single by Brian Hidalgo to take a 3-2 lead after 3. A single run in the 5th on an RBI single by John McGuire. A pair of RBIs in the 6th inning by Ketchum and Hidalgo. Another RBI in the 7th. Couple of a two-run single by Hidalgo in the 8th. Brian with 4 RBIs here this afternoon would finish out the scoring. So once again, your final score here in Game 4 on Day 1 of the CCAC tournament. St. Francis 10, Calumet St. Joseph 5. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., for St. Xavier and Roosevelt here from Dooley Health and Care Field. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday night, everybody. Good night.